Okay, so now we are live. So we can keep the camera, we can close the camera, however it is. Today, it's a free day. Okay, so what we need to do now is that we need to look at the sambodhāya. So we looked at what is the suffering. So we need to first look at the suffering what we are having from the time of the birth. The first suffering we get is food. Everything revolves around food. If you really observe, that's the reason Buddha calls it as abhiññāya. It's that you can see it for yourself. It's not something to be imagined or something like that. So everything starts with food. In the morning when I wake up, the first thing what we have to look after is food. They call breakfast or whatever, but we need the food. If there is no food, then there is no life continuation. And the same thing with plants. If we don't water the plants and there is no moisture, there is no sunlight, it's going to die. Same thing, if we don't have food, nourishment, then there is no person also. So why this food cycle? A food cycle is due to craving. So the first of the path is saṁvattati, proper vision or proper what we can say sight, or however we want to explain that in English. So, or right view or proper view. What is this proper view? So the first thing is food. That's a proper view. Everything starts with food. So there are 4 foods he talks about. One is the physical food, which can be gross or subtle. Second one is the touch, which is phassa. And the third one is mano sanchetana, which is nothing but mano sankhara, which is volitional actions of the mind. And the viññāna, which is nothing but identification through names and forms. So these are the 4 food. So in the Saṁvattati, there is one passage where Sariputta says, Tanha samudayo ahara samudayo. Tanha nirodho ahara nirodho. Tanha means craving. So craving, when it arises, the food also arises. It need not be physical food alone, but the other 3 food is going to arise. Tanha nirodho. So when the craving falls, then the food also falls. So let's investigate and do a meditation on this. Craving for physical food. So let's say I'm interested in chocolates, and this is the place where they make the best of the chocolates, and also they make the best of the watches. So let's say I want to come to Geneva or some other place, and then I love Toblerone, I love Lindt chocolates, and I love any of the Swiss watches, from Omega to Fossil to Swatch and all that. So is craving or is it liking? It's both. So I have a flair for watches, I have a flair for the chocolates. This flair is viññāna ahara, because I believe, the mind believes that there is something as enjoyment in the watches or in the chocolate. So I love the chocolates, which is viññāna, because now Toblerone is a name, Lindt is a name, Fossil is a name, then Tissot is the name, Swatch is the name. So that's a viññāna ahara. I'm not interested in a watch, I'm interested in Tissot watch. That makes more sense. Or I'm interested in Lind because that chocolate is too good for me. Or I love dark chocolates. So the investigation here is, this ahara, what I'm having, is it something I need it, I want it, and is it creating craving for that? And if the answer is yes, then the other three food, which is contact, which is phassa. Now the five senses will open up and the five sense objects come in front of it. Now in this particular case, the chocolate, Toblerone, or in the case of Lind chocolate, the moment I see the packet Lind, eyes and the smell, that is the nose, and the taste, three comes together. So the first investigation is there anything called as Lind chocolate or is there anything called as chocolate? So when I dissect the chocolate, I find cocoa, sugar, milk, and so many other parts. Just like we did with nibbidāya, where we split the human body into 32 parts. Same thing we can do with the chocolate. So now we see that there is no chocolate. It's named chocolate out of vijnāna, ahara, that created mano sanchetana, which is mental volitional actions to possess. There is a feeling. Phassa is the contact, and that creates feeling. So when I see Lind chocolate, and then I get a pleasurable feeling. When I don't see the Lind chocolate, I get a painful feeling. And I have not heard about Lind chocolate at all, then there is neutral feeling, but it's a feeling. So I have to first find out whether I know this name called as Lind chocolate, and automatically comes into my memory bank. And the taste buds starts because I've heard that name. And I know how it looks. So the packet also comes in the mind. And there's a contact with the sixth sense, which is the mind and dhammo. So now my mind is filled up with this ahara. Then comes this vijnāna, consciousness, which makes that experience possible. So even though I don't have the Lind packet right now in front of me, mind is enjoying already the Lind packet chocolate, because I've already had it in the past. So it's giving me that beautiful experience. So now what you need to do is, you need to investigate Olarika, that means gross, Sukuma is subtle physical food, whatever you eat. Look at the phassa, contact, which creates feeling, pleasurable, painful, neutral. Then you look at the mind, volitional actions of preparing that food in the way you would love to prepare or you would love to eat, whether it's outside your home or inside your home. And then how this consciousness make that experience of whatever you have decided possible. And this is saṁvattati, proper view. You're viewing what really is happening, because this whole world is filled up with only food, physical food and mental food, two food. So let's take 15 minutes to just look at ahara. First, physical food required for this body to develop. Irrespective whether I eat chocolates, I eat ice creams, I eat pizzas, or I eat rice and I eat curries or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It just builds up the body actually. But I have decided that these food are good for me and these food are not good for me, etc., etc. Is the mano sanchetana ahara, because of the contact of the senses. Then the vijnāna ahara, which is the consciousness, will make that experience possible. If I like something, it makes that experience possible. If I hate something, it makes that experience possible. When I say I am hating it, it is mano sanchetana. If I say I am loving it, it is mano sanchetana again. That's where the I-ness comes. The mind makes it I. I'm enjoying the food or I'm not enjoying the food. Okay, now it is 8:42, so let's meet 15 minutes later. You can watch your breath, investigate on the food. Physical food, mental food. Of whatever, whichever country, whatever you have, whatever you're interested in, look at what really exists and dissect it. Dissect in the sense that you will get solid and liquid. Whatever food you take, physical food, you get solid and liquid only. And when you break that, there is no contact. You get neutrality, which is adukkha asukhama vedana. And if you get that, mano sanchetana ahara will not be there. That means there is no volitional actions. And when there is no volitional action, there is no consciousness which makes that experience possible. So you will immediately get into a very peaceful state of mind, because there is no two extremes of one liking and other one disliking. Okay, let's meet afterwards. You can relax, watch your breath, investigate on the 4 types of food. Pay close attention to all kind of foods. All ideas we get are food. I'll be sharing you one sutta called Ahara Sutta. In that you'll find even the 5 hindrances are food. All ideas, all opinions are food of the mind. They then create thoughts. From that, we create concepts. And from the concept, we identify it as my concept. And then the consciousness makes that experience possible. And this comes to be due to craving. If you are able to retain this ahara through sati, that is to be mindful, remember, whenever we are having physical food and mental food, we are in proper view, saṁvattati. Arising and passing away of the breath is anicca. As much as the breath is coming and going, that much is the dukkha, because the life is going to keep on shortening. And breathing is a process, and hence anatta. I cannot take ownership of breathing. Now let us come to Samma Sankappo, proper determination. Also called as thoughts, but determination makes more sense. First one, Nekkamma Sankappo. Nekkamma means removal of kamma, deeds, or giving up idea of doing deeds. Kamma is the ground, consciousness is the seed, craving is the moisture. Nekkamma is to remove the ground, and hence no consciousness can establish because there is no moisture, which is craving. All volitional actions, either through body, speech and mind, will create kamma. What it means is that in seeing, there is only seeing. Object is coming to the eye and it's going away. In hearing, there is only sound. In taste, there is, or in tongue, there is only a taste. In body, there is only a touch. In mind, there are only thoughts. In nose, it can only smell. If there is a volitional that I want to see this, I want to hear this, I want to taste this, I want to touch this, I want to smell this, that creates sankharas. And I want is the craving. Just observe how food gives rise to this of wanting. So let me make my determination just to see, hear, taste, touch, smell, and think as not mine. This is not myself. This is not me. Next sankappo is abhyapada sankappo. That is non-hating. When the sight goes away automatically, when the sound, taste, touch, smell and thought are arising and going away, what is the point in getting agitated? I am getting hateful tendencies, agitation, frustration, anger, opinionation, quarrels and fights, because it is my sight and sound, taste, touch, smell and thoughts. If nekkhamma sankappo is properly established, vyapada also goes away. Because I cannot own any sound, any sight, any taste, touch, smell and thoughts that can be seen. Just keep on observing all the fights you have had, all the arguments you have had, all the disputes, anger, have happened either due to sight or sound or taste or touch or smell. Make a determination to let go of it, because they themselves arise and pass away. No ownership. Now we come to avihimsa sankappo. Himsa is harming, not to harm oneself or the others. We harm ourselves by going to two extremes. One extreme of sensuality, always indulging in sensual stimulus. Another one is to deprive everything and forcefully do something. And we do the same thing with all relationships. Either we deprive completely or we indulge completely. So when we deal with others, again we do the harm. How do we harm? We harm by seeing. Whatever we see, we feel. Whatever we feel, we perceive. And whatever we perceive, we think. And whatever we think, we ponder. And whatever we ponder, we decide. So either it goes towards sensuality or it goes towards depriving oneself and feeling very rejected, depressed. Same thing with sound and taste and touch and smell and thoughts. I don't like somebody's smell or I love somebody's smell. I like somebody's attitude, which is the mind, the mentality. Or I don't like that person's attitude. I can't stand the sight of him. I love to see him or her. I like the voice of this person. No, I don't like the voice of that person. If it is a female versus male, then I would love to touch and taste the person. Or I don't like to touch and taste that person. I don't like to think this person, or I love to always think about this person. So it harms. How does it harm? It creates rebirth consciousness. So whatever I think, I become. Bhava, that creates jati, which is birth. Then the cycle follows. Let me make a determination not to harm myself and others in thoughts, deeds and words, mind, speech and body. So make your mind be free from lies, slander, harsh speech, empty gossip, because the breath arises and passes away, doesn't wait for anyone, and this is with everyone, every being. Whichever has life will breathe, and as much as it breathes, so much its life goes away, which is dukkha. And as much as the life goes away, nothing it can do to bring back the breath. Anatta. In the same way, samma kammanta, proper work or deeds, non-killing, non-stealing, non-sexual misconduct. Again, we can apply here in breath, out breath, anicca. As much as the breath is going off, new breath coming in, that much of life is gone, and hence dukkha. And nothing that I can do about it is anatta. Cannot call myself as owner of the breath. I cannot own it. Same with everyone. Nobody can own the breath. So there's no point in killing anyone. There's no point in stealing anything. There's no point in sensual and sexual misconduct. Doesn't make sense. Now let's come to proper livelihood. Samma jivo. First we have to understand that there are 4 requisites: food, clothing, shelter and medicine. I need to find contentment in whatever I have at this point in time. Otherwise, it's going to give me a mindset which will incite greed or hatred. And these two will create delusion. I need to cover up my body, take bath because it is filthy, it smells. I need to wash the clothes because it smells. I need to cover the shameful parts. Not for adornment, not for display, but to protect oneself from sun, wind, different kinds of insects, reptiles, to cover up those body parts which generally becomes indecent. And I'm contented with the dress. So I don't have to go on buying for adornment. Then the food. It's for sustaining the body. Filled with nutrition. Just like we need to put fodder, we need to put compost or any other kind of organic manure for the plants. Same thing we have to do for the body. Again, it's not for adornment or display or for anything, just for sustaining the body. Ultimate goal is nibbāna. And through body only we can experience the calmness of the body and the mind. If the body is hungry, there is no awareness of peace. There's a pain. So to stop this pain, we need to eat and drink. Protecting from the sun, wind, animals, birds, reptiles, insects, water, and other natural calamities. including rain and tornadoes and all that. Need to have a shelter. There is always nutritional deficiency no matter what one eats, and hence diseases. So we need to have medication. So 4 requisites: clothing, food, shelter, medication. So any job which does not harm oneself and others, does not teach bribery, fraud, and all those kind of things which are not good for oneself or for others, does not teach killing and harming or stealing or lying, slander, and all of these. Any job that can bring contentment in the 4 requisites would be a proper livelihood. So let me make a determination to do that. I'm not here to be living for earning. I'm here to earn for a living. I might have millions of dollars, I might have just few dollars, it doesn't matter. Objective is contentment. Now let's come to proper effort. Samma vayamo. Right now, if our precepts are working, then you will have removed the unarisen akusala dhamma, the 10 immoral deeds. Or you would have by now removed utpanna, that is arisen 10 immoral deeds, including the 5 hindrances. We have developed unarisen skillful deeds, which is moral deeds, 10 moral deeds. We are strengthening the arisen skillful or moral deeds. We've removed the weeds. In its place, we have placed beautiful flowers, plants which are very soft, very tender, which flower extremely colorful and nicely, giving a peace and tranquility. Now let's come to proper remembrance or mindfulness. First is kaya nupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhiññāya domanasam. Kaya is the collection of many things, basically 32 parts of the body. When somebody watches it closely, does not find an individual in its place, one can see the process. Digestion as a process, assimilation as a process, excretion as a process, breathing as a process, moving as a process. And hence there is no abhiññāya, excessive liking to something, and vyapada, hatred and its related tendency. Cutting out the loka, which is made out of names and forms. One can see it very clearly. The 32 parts of the body. When we see that vedananupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhiññāya domanasam, we can see that there are three feelings: pleasant, painful, neutral, or pleasurable, not pleasurable, and neutral. When one is there, the other two are not there. And it is dependent on the condition of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and thoughts. So when we see that, we can watch the chitta, the mind and the mental impressions. Chitte chittanupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhiññāya domanasam. In the mind arises different thoughts. Some are good, some are bad, some are neutral. Depending upon the situation, the thoughts arise and pass away. If I don't dare to take it as my thoughts, then these thoughts do not haunt me. Then I can see the content of the mind, which is dhamma. Dhammesu dhammanupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhiññāya domanasam. It can have 5 hindrances to 4 noble truths, anything I can take which is part of dhamma. And I can watch. If I don't take it as mine, it's a process. Just like the kaya. Feelings are also process. The chitta is also process. So the dhamma. I remember to be mindful of this process. With that, I am establishing in the first jhana, Samma Samadhi. Savittakka Savichara Piti Sukha Ekagata. My mind is now dwelling not with any worldly things, not with any hindrances, but with dhammo, which is the teachings. Having established the 10 moral deeds, I am entering into the first jhana. Now I am having joy. Body is very light. Breath almost disappearing. Thoughts are not there. Established in coolness. In piti, which is joy. I emerge from the second jhana, moving on to the third, where I find happiness without any conditions, devoid of thoughts. Emerging from the third jhana, now I enter into the fourth, which is sublime, equanimous. Look at the breath. Look at the speech. Look at your mind. the feeling is neutral. So as the perception. There is no thinking and pondering. A very minimal breath. No sleep can give me this kind of relaxation. Now I can get into the right wisdom or a proper wisdom, sammajnana. The wisdom is now taking me into two dimensions. One is conditioned, sankata. Another one is unconditioned, asankata. Everything of the world is conditioned. Sight is conditioned, sound is conditioned, taste is conditioned, smell is conditioned, touch and thoughts are conditioned. Presently, there are no conditions. And hence I am going into proper extinguishment, vimukti. Able to watch anicca, dukkha, anatta, subha. Anicca, arising and passing away, and hence impermanent. Whatever arises and passes away is dukkha, suffering. Whatever is suffering, there is nothing one can do to make that different, no matter how much one tries, because everything arises and passes away. And it's a process, not a person. Anatta. No self in that. And hence it is inauspicious to take something which is a process as myself. So there is no moha, delusion now. If there is no delusion, then there is nothing to hate. Dvesha. If there is nothing to hate, there is nothing to love also, in terms of objectification. Raga. Now the mind is stilled, which is nibbāna. Now the mind is in etan santan, etan panitan. Yadidam sabba sankhara samato sabupadi pati nisago tanhakayo virāgo nirodho nibbānāya. This is peaceful. This is profound. When all the sankharas are in tranquility, when there is nothing to possess, and when there is nothing to possess, there is nothing to crave, and when there is nothing to crave, then there is virāgāya. Nirodhāya, non-arising of raga, dvesha, moha, and hence in nibbāna. Be in this state as long as you wish.